Namaste. Welcome back to our Rāmānuja Refutation series, episode 23 of 100. Today we throw light on Rāmānuja's commentary on 214-215 and show how it is invalid, as it not only contradicts Bhagavad Gītā but also contradicts Rāmānuja's commentary, which is going to come later on 239. Today we expose Rāmānuja's hypocrisy, his confusion, and his violation of Bhagavad Gīta's teaching sequence. Let's begin. Bhagavān Krishna begins the Upadesha of Ātma-Jñānam in 211 by saying, Ashochan anvashochastvam. You grieve for those who don't need to be grieved. And from here onwards up to 230 is the whole teaching of reality of oneself and the reality of this whole perception, thereby establishing why Arjuna need not grieve. So from 211 to 230, the topic is only Ātma-Jñānam, revealing how Atma is Satyam, is Nitya. In other words, Atma is Brahman. Remember, there is no mention of Varna, Svadharma, Karma, duties, and action leads to moksha. The Gita here is teaching Vedanta, not Karma Kanda. But Rāmānuja, unable to grasp this teaching, inserts in 215. Amritatva sadhanataya svavarnochitam yuddhadi karma. And then he says, Saha eva amritatvam sadhyati. This is Rāmānuja's commentary in 215, where he says, doing karma appropriate to your varna ashrama with courage is the means for amritatva, immortality. He inserts this into the section of Ātma-Jñānam taught by Bhagavān Krishna. And under the verse 214, Rāmānuja strangely says, Tan dhairyena yavad yuddhadi shastriya karma samapti tidikshasva. And then he says, Bandha hetu bhuta karma nashi sati agamapayittvena api nivartante. In 213 he said, Atma is having the vasha of karma. And now in 214 commentary again he says, Atma is bound by karma and therefore the duty is to destroy all karmas, which is diametrically opposite to what Bhagavān Krishna is actually teaching, how Atma is free from karmas. And in 215 he inserts that performing duties alone is the means for immortality. This is not commentary, this is fabrication. Let's understand this contextually. In 231, Bhagavān Krishna says, Svadharmam api chavikshya navikampitum arhasi. Even from the standpoint of Swadharma, do not grieve. Bhagavān Krishna is saying, even if you consider Swadharma, even then don't grieve. Means Swadharma is a lower standpoint and the topic which has gone by from 211 to 230 is Ātma-Jñānam, the primary teaching. So when 231 says, even if you consider Swadharma, you need not grieve, that means here what was gone by is not talking about duties at all. Thus in 213, 214, 215, Rāmānuja forces duties to be performed to gain immortality, mokṣa, which now directly stands refuted by verse 231. And in 232, Bhagavān Krishna continues to say, Svarga dvaram apavritam. Fighting this righteous war opens the gates of Svarga, heaven. In 231 and 232, the result pointed out for performing duties is Svarga, heaven. And in 237, Bhagavān Krishna says, Hato va prapsyasi Svargam. If you get killed in this war, you gain heaven, Svarga, and not moksha. This annihilates Rāmānuja's reading. Rāmānuja's most hypocritical claim, Amritatva sadhanataya svavarnochitam yuddhadi karma kurvanaha saha eva amritatvam sadhyati. The only path to immortality is by doing duties. In Bhagavad Gītā, 13 chapter 13 verse, Bhagavān Krishna makes it clear, Jñātva eva amritatvam ashnate. Gita actually says, knowledge alone gives immortality, not by karma. This directly exposes the falsehood of Rāmānuja's bhashya on 214 and 215. Here is the hypocrisy. Let's look at how Rāmānuja contradicts himself. In the Sangati bhashya, the connection commentary to verse 239, Rāmānuja says, Evam Ātma-Jñānam upadishya tatpurvakam mokṣa sadhana bhutam karma yogam vaktum arabhyate. He says from 211 to 230, what was talked about in all these verses was Ātma-Jñānam, and from here Karma Yoga is going to be talked about. Exactly, that's what the context of Bhagavad Gītā actually is. Rāmānuja knows this very well. 211 to 230 is not about duties, not about Karma Yoga. It is a revelation of Atma to be Brahman. Karma Yoga only starts from 239. Yet Rāmānuja inserts the duties in 214 and 215 to serve his theology and to escape from the revelation of Atma as Brahman. This is the definition of hypocrisy. You accepted 211 to 230 is Ātma-Jñāna, is a section talking about Atma's true nature. And in 239, you said from here what is going to be talked about is Karma Yoga. But yet you preach duties within 214 and 215 as the only means for immortality. Why? Because your entire system collapses. Let's see what actually was said by Bhagavan Krishna in 214 and 215. Matra sparshast kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agama painaha anityaha tanstatiksha svabharata yam hina vyatyantyete purusham purushashaba samadukha sukham dhiram somritatvaya kalpate. Experiences come and go. They are anitya. The anitya is going to be revealed as mithya in verse 216. Asataha bhavaha navidyate. Whereas Atma, never changing and timeless, Satyam Brahma. That's what Bhagavan Krishna says in 215. Yam hina vyathayanti ete. This is how Saha Amritatvaya Kalpate. This recognition of reality of Atma as Satya, Sataha Abhavaha Navidyate, and duality as not Satya, Asataha Bhavaha Navidyate. By this alone, one gains immortality, mokṣa. But wait, what did Rāmānuja actually say? Yuddhādi karma kurvānaha saha eva amritatvam sadhyati. Only one who is doing duties, one attains immortality. This is how Rāmānuja twists the verses of Gita. By inserting ideas as he wishes and by contradicting his own statements made earlier, he completely makes a mess in his Gita Bhashya. Let's do a quick recap. Today we exposed the core hypocrisy. How Rāmānuja inserts karma into the section of Ātma-Jñāna, even though he himself admits in the Sangati Bhashya to 239. He claims duties give mokṣa in the section of Ātma-Jñāna, but Bhagavan repeatedly says only by knowledge of oneself to be Brahman, one gains immortality, mokṣa. Jnātva amritatvam ashrute. He claims 214 and 215 teaches one to do karma, but 231, 232, 237 make it very clear that duties are talked about from a lower standpoint. The primary teaching of Bhagavad Gītā, Ātma-Jñāna, is from 211 and 230. And the result of performing duties is directly svarga, hato va prapsisi svargam, svarga dwaram apavritam. They are not the topic which are talked about in the section 211 to 230. Hence, his entire reading of Rāmānuja is invalid. Om Tat Sat.